He stole my lunch and my ideas, so I made him vomit his toxic masculinity away. I've dealt with workplace bullies before, but Travis was a special breed of misogynist who turned harassment into an art form. I never planned to use psychological warfare against a colleague, but when HR protects the predator instead of the prey. From his first day in our marketing department, Travis made it clear he considered women inferior. This wasn't just eye-rolling sexist jokes. This was calculated sabotage. He'd move women's belongings, commandeer their space, and systematically undermine their work. When Emily returned from maternity leave, she found Travis permanently installed at her desk management solution. They gave her a folding table in the corner while they sorted things out. My turn came when I found Travis sitting at my desk eating my homemade lasagna while showing my project files to our director. When I confronted him, sauce still on his chin, he smirked and told me I needed to work on my seasoning before suggesting I prove the files were mine. I reported the incident to HR, who suggested that sharing food builds team culture. That's when I learned Travis's uncle sat on the board of directors. His behavior escalated quickly. He began during my presentations hours before client meetings, changing my calendar invitations so I'd miss important calls and inserting himself into email chains to take credit for my work. His favorite power move became standing behind me breathing on my neck while checking my work. When I objected, he'd loudly suggest I was probably on my period and couldn't handle constructive feedback. The lunch stealing became ritual. He'd wait until I was in meetings, then eat my homemade meals at my desk, leaving notes rating my cooking. He'd rifle through my drawers, leaving evidence of his intrusion minus a deliberate message that nothing of mine was private. The breaking point came during our biggest client presentation of the quarter. Travis accidentally spilled coffee all over my laptop, destroying my presentation materials. As I frantically tried to recover my files, he smoothly stepped in, presenting my ideas from memory as his own. When I tried to correct him in front of clients, he apologized for my emotional outburst and assured them he could handle the pressure even if I couldn't. Later, management thanked him for saving the account while suggesting I work on my professionalism. I began studying Travis like a research project. His patterns revealed more than just general misogyny. His compulsion for stealing women's lunches wasn't just about food, minus it was his daily power trip, asserting dominance by consuming what we'd created and invading our space. More importantly, I'd overheard him nearly retching in the bathroom when someone mentioned buying tampons for their girlfriend. Travis was violently squeamish about female biology minus a weakness hidden behind his macho facade. I started bringing increasingly elaborate lunches minus gourmet sandwiches, homemade pasta dishes that looked irresistible. As expected, Travis couldn't help himself, continuing his daily theft ritual. The beauty of my plan was that I never needed to contaminate the food. The psychological torture would be far worse than any actual tampering. During a lunch discussion about intermittent fasting and stead diets, I enthusiastically pulled out my phone and showed everyone my routine, making direct eye contact with Travis as I explained how I'd been adding my menstrual blood to everything I cooked for the past 2 weeks because the iron content is incredible for energy levels. Travis's face transformed from confusion to realization to absolute horror as he processed that he'd eaten my lunch just hours earlier, minus a beautiful pot pie I'd made sure. He watched me pack that morning. He shot up from his chair and ran to the bathroom where everyone could hear him retching violently. He took a week of sick leave, and when he returned, he couldn't look at me without turning pale. Travis never stole another lunch. His misogynistic comments stopped completely. He requested a transfer 2 months later, and on his last day, he returned all my office supplies that had mysteriously disappeared over the months. I never confirmed or denied anything about my special diet. I didn't need to. The beauty of psychological warfare is that your target does all the work for you. Sometimes the only way to fight toxic masculinity is to make it gag on its own assumptions.